So I actually had a couple of injuries last year. So I started off with my foot, and then I kind of got told I can't play right before the Minnesota game, and then I had surgery on my foot, and then I was about to get back, ready to get back to practicing, and then I noticed I didn't have any peripheral vision in my right eye. And I was like, that's kind of weird. So I went and got it checked out, and then they were kind of, talking me through it, and how doctors are when they're talking to each other, not talking. You're like, okay, something's going on.
Sounds bad.
Yeah. So they told me that my retina tore off, it detached. I don't know how it happened, probably through football. And I need surgery. I'm gonna go blind in my eye in the next 30 minutes. I was like, oh crap. So went and got the surgery. Don't recommend getting eye surgery. It was probably the worst experience of my life. It was terrible. I mean, I could feel the stitches in my eye, but got it fixed. They put a gas bubble to keep the shape in it, and then I was getting better and better. It was a 6-week recovery, so it's fully good to go now. But my only really change is my prescription was different, but it's all good.
I would think that it changes your perspective on everything.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. You just kind of take eyesight for granted, especially as a young person, and not being able to see. I couldn't really see out of it for about 2 weeks, and not being able to see out of it was, just humbling that anything can change. So I'm just grateful for the doctors that they were able to fix it, and I was ready to be back healthy.
What does one do to recover? I mean, are you just not doing
anything? I can go through a little bit. So with the eye surgery, the shape of the eye gets a little deformed. So my eye shape wasn't a perfect sphere for a little bit, and then fluid can get inside of the eye just by opening it up. And what happened was they put the gas bubble in it, and to get rid of the fluid, I had to lay on my side for I think 4 days straight to get the fluid out of my eye. But I could get up like 5 minutes every hour, but that was like that for 4 days. Yeah, so it was kind of a long process, but it was getting better and better.
And you were fully recovered from your foot injury?
No, I was about 2 weeks away. Oh. So I was about 2 weeks away from my foot being fully healthy. Trying to get back. I think the bye week was when I was trying to start practicing again, and then that Friday before when they travel out to Rutgers, that's when I went for the doctor's appointment for my eye. So it was just one thing after another. So
from the football side, not the life side, there's been so much talk about what you might bring when you kicked inside and adding that strength.
Yeah.
Then to have that part taken away and then have to maybe start all over.
Yeah.
In some respects, how did you process that part?
It was really tough. I mean, I've never had surgery before, so going through my foot surgery and then trying to get back to that. I've always been dealing with a foot thing. My whole college career, I didn't know I was until, me and Coach Jay looked at the film and was like, dude, what's up with your foot? And then I got that checked out, and then I was really excited to get back because even since high school, I haven't played on a healthy foot in a while. So I was really excited to get back for that. And then with the eye thing, it kind of puts you in a depth. And when you're laying by yourself with an eye thing, you can watch shows and stuff, but with only one eye, it's you're kind of just there with your thoughts. Yeah. I kind of got into a dark place with it, but that's just part of it. You're always going to be, the surgery is always going to be a little discouraging. And with me going inside, I was really excited. I was playing well. I was ready to, bring that, you look at Tyleek and Tehran, and they're just different type of body types with the 3-tech. And then with my, quickness and pass rush ability, I was really excited to, get back into it. So we're just going to have to, I'm getting back, so just trying to get back to how I was before.
What all are you doing this week? 100% full go this spring, or you?
Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, I feel good. Yep, getting back to it.
Is there rust involved in that?
Oh yeah, there's always rust. I mean, always trying to not trying to get too deep into what I have, but just trying to get back to football shape. You can only do so much in the training room, so just trying to get back to football shape, that's probably the biggest transition.
I guess from that perspective,
you're right.
Sitting out, watching kind of the defensive line perform, as you were sitting out, I'm curious what you saw, that you saw, whether it's from the young guys like Tyleek or Jack or KT, how did you see them kind of grow?
From an outside perspective? So me and Jack are actually pretty close. We hang out a bunch. So he's like my little brother. And just seeing him progress, with his pass rush, he was always talented, but just seeing him with his fine tuning and stuff, just getting better. And then JT, he showed up late, so it was kind of like a learning curve for him, just trying to learn on the fly because we went right into camp. They definitely got better as the year went on, and then the spring they're starting to turn it up a little bit.
Because it just seems like a lot of, even with the amount of second-year guys that are here, and guys like yourself, and Tehran, and Jared, and just all these guys that have been here,
Yeah.
It seems like a much more experienced group than maybe on paper. It necessarily
Well, yeah,
is.
because with all the, I mean, we had a bunch of injuries last year, like me, T. Fry, Zach was a little bit, he had a little bit of things, but we're all good now. And then, but just that gave the opportunity for Jack and JT to step in a little bit and get some like actual minutes on the field, So I think having the experience and the maturity of the older guys, but the experience of the younger players that have been through it, that we're not trying to have to bring them along. They're all on top of their stuff. They really know what they're doing. So it's just, I think our room's really becoming a really powerful unit again.
What is your relationship like with Tyler?
We were injured around the same time. So last season we were both out, and we would be together in rehab. Our relationship really grew. I think that we're real close. We were kind of close before then, but I think just being around each other all the time, going through the same kind of frustrating type of season, really brought us together. So he's one of my closest friends on the team for sure.
You mentioned, being in a dark place. Your dad the other day, he quote tweeted something that Harry Miller's mom tweeted and said, when my son had his injury, I can attest to it. Ryan Day was there for him. Just how did Ryan Day kind of help you through the situation you went through last year?
So he actually, it was really encouraging. So every time he would see me, he's like, "How's your eye? How's your foot?" It was just not that I wouldn't get from other coaches, and just from the head coaching perspective, you get 1,000 different things that go in his direction. Just to get that, that support was really helpful through a tough time. And then even him, so I don't know how like you all know this, but like with my eye surgery, I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go on the field, so I would be stuck at home. And one Saturday when we were playing, it was a college game day. Segment on him, and he was talking about like how his dad's thing, and that was just having someone who has gone through mental health things and him being an advocate for it. I think it just put everyone on the team in a good spot. And I'm really close with Harry, so even the past years I've been knowing like what he's been going through. We've been sharing through some of the same struggles, and just like seeing him in a great place right now is really encouraging.
How scary was that to have that happen with your eye? Like, did you wonder am I ever going to play football again?
Yeah, so they were saying that if it doesn't get, there was like a long process. So there was like the scar tissue that had to go down in my eye in order for me to see again. And if that didn't go down, there would be another surgery, and I would develop a cataract, and that would just be a whole nother situation. But it was like a 2-week period to see if the scar tissue would go down where I wouldn't need more surgery, and then it ended up going down. So it's just an answer to prayer that I was able to get back to being healthy. I have to wear a visor now, so y'all see me on this field this year with a visor, but I hate it, but it's part of it. But I'm just excited to get back to playing what I love.
How relieved were you when you heard that scar tissue had gone down and you'd be able to play again?
It's a big relief. I mean, it's kind of like an anxious thing because, eyesight's probably one of the most important things of your person. So being able to see again, being able to be told that, yeah, you're going to be able to play football again and not just be able to see again, it's just, it was really relieving that I had doctors that knew what they were doing. Like, right when I was going to surgery, it was a really quick process because I needed to get in the operating room. And they're like, we do this a lot, and we're really good at this. You're the youngest person we've had, but, like, we know what we're doing. So that was just a calming presence that was doing my surgery. So really appreciative of everyone that was involved.
And you said you thought it.
Whether it's Coach Day, who's been kind of an advocate for mental health. It seems like from an outside perspective that mental health and things along these lines is kind of it's an open topic. It's something that a lot of you guys are open with sharing and things like that. And I'm curious about how that has affected your time. About like everybody being so open with these things that were for like guys or like football players has kind of like been encouraged to kind of keep inside and things like that. Like,
so I struggle with that a bunch. Like, you get told growing up, you're a man, you got to keep it in. So I would always just lock it down and keep it really close to the chest, not tell anyone, just kind of like push through it, because that's always what I've learned is just push through it and it'll get better. But when it doesn't get better, you kind of get to a point where I remember it was during COVID, and I was doing really well, football wise. I was voted most improved after the summer, and I was really going well in the fall camp. And then as soon as like the season got canceled and we restarted, and I can't keep on getting delayed and stuff, I just got in such a bad mental state. I went to Coach Jay's. I was like, man, I feel numb. Like, my whole person feels numb. I don't know how to function. And then I was able to speak with Jamie Hool. He's one of the two sports psych people we have, and just being able to talk to someone about what you're going through, that it's not a family member, that can see his judgment, it's just a third person party that, can hear your struggle and can reason with you, because he was a gymnast in college, and he's went through some of the same things that I've been going through. So just having that, that support system, being able to open up to someone has really helped me out. And I'm a big advocate for mental health. I've been really that's why I was so proud of Harry to go see what he went through. And it's just really good to see that we have a culture here that allows that. Having mental health issues is not a weakness. It's actually, we all have mental health issues in some capacity. So just having that avenue to reach out to someone and to speak without having any judgment, because it's just such a pressure cooker in the environment we're in. And then Coach Day talks about all the time about we're one of the 4 or 5 top schools in the nation. It's just like all eyes are always on us, and to have someone be able to talk to when we're all 21, 22-year-old kids that just the pressure's on us. It's just a good avenue to have.
How different is your perspective right now than it would have been at this time a year ago?
So I took my health for granted a little bit last year, not necessarily for granted, but I just didn't know the the seriousness of like my body and stuff. I would say I'm a lot more relaxed. I could be blind, not playing football right now, just sitting on the sidelines and being able to run again, to be able to see. It's just a blessing that I'm here right now compared to where I was last year.
You might have already said it before, but what exactly was the diagnosis of what happened with your eye?
So my retina tore off, and then it was about, I don't know what the term is, but it was like I don't know if it was a millimeter or something, one measurement away from being in my main line of sight. And if the back of your retina goes in the main line, so here's like your eye, and here's your retina. And then my eye tore away from it, and if your retina kind of comes closer, if it gets in that main line of sight, your eye's very vulnerable, and if it gets in your main line of sight, you pretty much go blind. You can never get that back. So I was this close to having permanent eye damage, so I'm just blessed to be able to not have anything happen.
And you think it happened
in a football?
I mean, yeah, it was a traumatic injury, and I wasn't in a car accident or anything, so it definitely was a football thing.
But it wasn't like, oh, I just did something.
So I can get scientific with y'all. So with older people, they have this thing called the vitreous in your eye. That's like the fluid that's in your eye. That's like what keeps your eye a sphere. And as you get older, the vitreous starts to become more liquid-like instead of a gel. So the younger you are, it's more of a gel-like substance. So it was keeping the back of my eye back, but it eventually will start to come up because it's not like a firm substance. It's still gel. So it took longer for me to realize that I had peripheral vision loss. But for an older person, they could probably find out in the next couple of days. But for me, it took anywhere from, I don't know if it happened during camp during the summer, anywhere from like 1 to 2 months. So
you knew all this about eyes beforehand, or is this all?
Yeah, this is all new stuff to me. So
from a football perspective, what kind of role do you think you can play this year?
So me and Coach Jay had a good conversation, and he knew about just like my journey. It was just a frustrating year last year with all my injuries and stuff. And he's like, we're gonna find a role for you. So inside, outside, wherever I can help out, I think I'm confident enough. Having a healed up foot, healed up eye, that I can really make an impact. So I'm gaining confidence every day. I'm really, I kind of lost that that drive after two like really serious things happened. I kind of lost that drive. I'm like, man, I'm just trying to get healthy. But now that I'm healthy, I really starting to get that drive back to want to be the best player I can. So I'm really excited about that.
Do you think that inside role is still maybe the best spot for you?
I think I'm confident wherever I am. I think I bring a different flavor, to the D line if I'm in the inside, but on the outside, I mean, I knew what I did, pre-COVID, in the COVID year, I was really starting to play well on the outside. So I think wherever Coach Jay sees fit, I think I'm ready to go.
All good. Thank you.